Dina, and today I would like for you to meet Sabbia. Sabbia is my gemstone orphan that I adopted from Gemstone Orphanage. Gemstone Orphanage sometimes puts stones like this up on their site to where you can adopt these, and then you can also purchase a dress-up bag that goes along with it. The dress-up bags contain other beads and other gemstones and findings that go along with the stone that you adopt, so that way you can make coordinating jewelry pieces. So meet me back in just a moment. We'll go through the dress-up bags itself, and then we'll also take a closer look at Sabbia. See you back in a second. So every time that you adopt one of the stones, Gemstone Orphanage will also produce a adoption certificate that goes along with it. And this is my certificate that goes with Sabbia. So it tells you a little bit about the description of the stone, what it is. It's crazy lace agate, and it's got the different types of colors that are in it, the size, the shape, and everything. And then it kind of goes through the different characteristics of your gemstone. So living in the moment is the biggest thing, the primary attribute with this type of a stone, the crazy lace agate. Then it goes through a nice little story about, how the aspects of the special stone can increase your analytical skills and ability to concentrate, particularly in financial endeavors, things like that. Just different stuff. Also has a picture of the front and the back of your stone, so that way you can keep this for your information. So it's kind of neat how they do that. Then they also have another paper that comes with it that goes through important information that you need to know about your stone, talks to you about how to care for your stone and different things that you can do and things to stay away from. So that comes with the adoption itself of the main stone, which this one is Sabbia, and Sabbia in Italian means warm sand, which this is very indicative of beach to me, because it's got the oranges, the peaches, you've got the creams, and you've got grays up here. Of course, I live on the Gulf Coast in the Houston area, so the gray is a lot more of what we see in our beaches. Unfortunately, we do not have a lot of the nice, watery colors and things like that. We have a lot of different grays that come out in our beachy sands, but it is what it is. It's where I live. So here's the back of this stone. So this one is very, very pretty. It's very nice, and you can see its size. It's about 3 fingers widths in size, at least my finger widths. So it's very, very nice. My plans for this stone is I'll probably use one of the findings. We'll go through it in just a minute as a pinch bail. So I'll probably use that to attach it to a necklace. But I'm also thinking about doing some bead work around it, because I do primarily do bead weaving. So I'm probably going to do just a simple little bezel around the stone, and I'll come back and show you that video at a later date, so that way I can hopefully teach you how to do that if you get something similar to this. So that is Sabbia. So next we'll go through the dress-up bags that came with her. The findings that I got today are in the rose gold color that goes along very well with Sabbia. In fact, I'll probably just put Sabbia right over here so we can kind of look at it just in case you want to get some more views of this pretty little gemstone. So the first thing that I got was a yard of chain. So it's a chain that looks like that. I don't remember the specific. I think it might be... It just looks like chain links. I'm still kind of learning the different names of chains and everything and different types and stuff like that. So it just looks like gem links to me. The second thing is that pinch bail that I was talking about in the beginning. So this is probably what I'll end up using to attach Sabbia to a necklace, which I probably won't use that. I'll do some sort of a beaded chain more than likely. But like I said, I want to do just a simple little bezel around Sabbia and then come up with a different necklace chain to go along with it. But in order to get Sabbia to the chain, I'll probably still attach that to it. Then we get a clasp. This is just a simple little, be easier just to keep it in here. Just a simple little toggle clasp. So it's just, there's no details or anything on it. It's just a simple clasp, which is nice because sometimes when you have something that's this detailed like this, and what I'm planning on doing as far as bead weaving around it and potentially doing a bead weaving type of chain to go along with it, then you're probably going to want something that's more simple like this. You don't want something that's going to add to or take away from the design of your stone or whatever your focal point is that you want to use. So that's a very good option to have, just a very simple clasp like that. And then I ended up getting a selection of jump rings. There's several different sizes. I believe it looks like it might be 3mm, 4, and a 6mm, and there's several of each in there. So that's the findings pack that came with Sabbia in the dress-up bag. So the next one that we'll go through is the different strands that came with it. On, these are the different strands that came with the dress-up bag. Now, the first strand that we have is 6mm sunstone rounds. You get 25 of these. So these are very, very pretty. Sunstone is one of those stones that you probably can't really see it that well in here. You can see the chatoyancy that's coming through on it, where it's that little bit of a flash, but it also has little specks inside the stone. So it looks like there's, it's glowing from within, basically. I really like sunstone. Sunstone is very, very pretty. It's a very neutral stone, especially for this time of the year. It's very beachy. You can pair this with turquoise colors very well. But sunstone is a very good stone to have in your stash if you don't already have some. We also get a 4mm strand, or 4mm of carnelian round strand. You end up with 35 of these, and it's natural carnelian, so you've got parts in here that are clear. There we go, get it focused. So parts in here that are clear, but then you also still have the orange, and then every once in a while you get some that are a little bit more red, like that one. Carnelian is another really good stone to have for different times of the year. Summertime is one of those. It's also a very good stone to use during the fall, because a lot of fall colors are similar to the colors in the strands of carnelian. Then we end up getting a strand of peach or gold and peach crystal discs. These are 8x6mm, and there are 20 of them. So you get just nice little crystal discs, and then on some parts, or one side of it or a portion of it, it's got a gold look to it, and then the rest of the bead is more of that peachy pink color. So very nice, very pretty. The next strand we got is a 6x4mm peachy pink crystal rondelle. You end up getting 25 of these, and it's very nice, very sparkly rondelle crystal. And then the next one is actually not a strand, but it just came in a little small baggie, but it's 4mm Austrian grade bead cones. You get 25 of these. And I've got the other half in the dish to make it easier for you to see it and see how sparkly they are. But very good type of bead cone to have. Doesn't have the name of the bead cone, but to me it kind of looks like maybe the kind of like an antique rose color, maybe. Maybe close to that type of a color of bead cone. And then this strand over here was actually a bonus and a thank you strand. So it's 8mm glass barrel beads, and I got 15 of these. So these beads are kind of frosted on either side. You can see a little bit of frosting there, and then it's the same thing on that side, and then you got more of a reflection type look on the bead in the center. So very pretty. I like that. So that is the portion of the strands of the dress-up bag. So come back in just a second and I'll show you the shaped gemstone bag that came with the dress-ups. Alright, so here is the shaped gemstone bag portion of the dress-up bags. So we get a large 25 by 18 millimeter goldstone oval focal, which is this guy here in the center, which this is really, really neat because I like goldstone. Goldstone comes in a couple of different shades. Red is one of them. It also comes in a blue, which is also one of my very favorite stones. And then it comes in green, and I think there might be another color, maybe. But those are the three main ones. Now, goldstone itself is not a natural stone. This is a man-made stone, but it doesn't matter. This sucker is really, really pretty. So this stone, or this piece right here, has like a little brown inclusion on there. So it's really, really neat. And it's got the inclusion on the back side too. So it makes it look like it's more of a natural stone with that type of inclusion in it. And my camera is having a hard time trying to focus on it because it does not know what to look at. It's so sparkly, probably. And then we get 4 pieces of 16 by 12 millimeter faceted ovals as well. And those are just the same. There's no inclusions on these guys. These are all the same. Just very sparkly red gold color. Then we get 8 by 5 millimeter white jade rondelles. You get 10 of these guys. And so it's a white jade, which jade, if I remember right, this type of jade I think is it's not an agate. I just forgot what it is, but, oh phooey, that's going to drive me nuts. I hate it when I can't think of things when I'm talking about stuff. Anyways, okay, so it's white in color. If I can remember what it is, I will tell you in the earring portion of the tutorial, because we'll use these in the earring portion. So these are very pretty, very nice little white colored rondelles. Then we have 10 millimeter red aventurine lentils. There's 8 of these. And red aventurine is another really good color. Looks very similar to carnelian, the orangey colors of carnelian. So it pairs very, very well with that. So very nice little beads, and the hole just kind of goes down the center of the bead right there. So very nice, very pretty. Then we have 5 by 3 millimeter sunstone rondelles. So these are tiny little rondelles. And of course, I don't think the camera's picking it up, but you can see a little bit of chatoyance in it, as well as some sparkles. You get some sparkles that come in there too. Not sure if it's picking it up or not. Very pretty in person. I don't think the camera's doing it justice. And then the last bag is a bag of sunstone gemstone chips. So I love having chips. Chips I do a lot of different projects with and everything, but I love having chips. Chips are one of those things that if you have a gemstone that you're really liking or you're really wanting to get, but it's just a little too far out of your price range, look at getting some of the chips. And chips are typically lesser in price, but the quality of them are still going to be a pretty good quality of the gemstone. It's just that the chips are kind of like the leftovers from when they're making stones and things like that, and then just little small parts come off. And then all they do is they just take these little parts and make a little hole in there somewhere. That way you can string them on or use them in bead weaving and things like that. So I love getting chips. Chips are fun to work with. So that is the gemstone shaped bag that comes in the dress-up bag. So like I usually do in all my videos, I have a short tutorial, and like I had hinted to it earlier, I'm going to use the white jade rondelles, and I'll figure out what that other word is here in just a second and let you know. And then I'm going to get 4 of these guys out. I'm going to use 2 of my smaller ovals of the red goldstone, and then I'm going to use 4 of the small sunstone rondelles as well. So 4 of these, and 2 of those. So go ahead and get those out and then meet me back, and then I'll show you the rest of what you need to make the earring if you want to follow along with me with things that you have at your home. I just have, outside of the 3 beads that I said in the previous clip, I just have a pair of ear wires, and then I'm just going to use some head pins today. I have some fancy little head pins that are a copper color, that I received in a different box recently, so I'm going to use those guys. And then the ear wires, I'm just going to string these on. So it's something very, very simple, very easy to do. So you don't have to have these same type of beads. And you can always have something else that's similar to in your stock that you can use. But I'm putting the white rondelle, which is actually a dyed quartz. I finally figured out the name. I love it when I can't think of things like that on the fly. And so I'm going to put the large white rondelle on the bottom. I'm going to put the sunstone rondelle next. And then I'm going to put the goldstone on top of it. And then do the opposite. Put the sunstone. And then the jade or the dyed quartz. So now we have everything on here. And then what we're going to do is cut off our excess, because we do have a little bit of excess. So I've got my cutters. I'm using just my width of my finger as a gauge, and so I'm going to the end of my finger using the flush side towards the earring, or towards this portion of the earring, the working part of it. And then I'm going to cut off the excess. Put that aside. Then grab my round nose pliers, and then just start making just a simple loop. I'm not going to do anything really specific today. I'm just going to make a simple loop. And then if I make that loop and it's a little too long, then I can always come back with my pliers and cut off that little bit of excess, but it looks like it's just about right. So I should be using my flat nose pliers doing this, but I'm using my round nose. It is what it is. It still works. So I'm just trying to push that backwards so that way it kind of makes more of a 90-degree angle sitting right there, so it just sits a little bit easier on the ear wire. Now I am going to grab my chain nose pliers and then grab my ear wire, open that up, and then I'm just going to string this on and just have a nice little easy dangly gemstone-y earring. So I'll do the other one a little bit quicker. So gemstone, gemstone, and the carnelian. Oh, that one does have some inclusions on it. That's neat. Okay. That's not carnelian, that's goldstone. And then the other two gemstones. Then use my finger as a guide. And then cut off. Try not to cut your finger while you're doing that. And then use my wire, or my pliers, to bend the wire, make just a simple loop. And then once I get close to the bottom down there, use the other end of the wire and push backwards, and then that helps to kind of create your little look, to make it look like it's sitting straight. And then I'm just going to make sure this is closed up all the way so it doesn't come off easily. Okay, because it's kind of far away from my face. Sometimes I can't see things really good. And then open up this ear wire. And then now I have a pair of earrings, very simply made, that I can make a necklace to go along with it. Hey everyone, so here is Sabbia and her dress-up bag that came along with her. So thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you would like to check out Gemstone Orphanage and see what they have to offer, I will have a link down below in the description, so that way you can check it out and see what type of stone that you would like to adopt in a future purchase. So thanks again for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button, as well as the notification portion of the button, so that way you'll be notified when I come out with another new video. Thanks again, everyone. I'll see you in the next one. Y'all have a great rest of your wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.